So good morning everybody. Today you want to see the chapter flow net in this earthen dam. This is a common topic actually applied in the fluid mechanics, also applied in geotechnical engineering. Everybody is knowing the properties of the flow net, but which is helpful to you for locating the phreatic line in case of an earthen dam. So the flow net is nothing but it's a graphical representation of this two-dimensional steady state groundwater flow through the aquifers. In fluid mechanics, what you understand the term flow net. Flow net is nothing but it's a graphical representation of streamline and the equipotential line. So for earthen dam, you have considered the two-dimensional flow. It's a steady state flow, and that is now the groundwater flow through the aquifer. Aquifer is also having a pervious strata where the water can be passed now here. You know the various geological features: aquifer, aquiclude, aquitart. So the method is often used in the civil engineering hydrology, also in geotechnical engineering in soil mechanics, as the first check for the problems of the flow under the hydraulic structures like the dams or the seat pile walls. As such, that is a grid obtained by drawing a series of the equipotential line is called the flow net. Now for going to the seepage analysis, and you need to observe the failures due to this poor water pressure generated due to the seepage. So first step is to know the flow net, how to draw the flow net. So the flow net, again I am telling you, flow net is nothing but it's a graphical representation of streamline and the equipotential line. Streamline is also called as a flow line, and those lines, equipotential line, which represents the same potentials and which is perpendicular to the streamline. So the characteristics of the flow net, as you are aware with the characteristic of the flow net. So the flow lines is nothing but a streamline. Flow lines and the streamlines represents the flow path of the particles of the water. Flow lines and the equipotential lines are perpendicular to each other, or even though you have to say that is a those lines are orthogonally to each other. Area between the two flow lines is called the flow channel. Rate of flow in a flow channel is a constant. Flow cannot occur across the flow lines. If there is no flow across, if it is in a steady state, then equipotential line is nothing but it is a line joining the points with same head. How it is observed, if you are keeping the piezometer inside the seepage, then there will be getting the same pressure head. So the point which represents the same head, you have to join it, and the resulting line you have to be called as the equipotential line. Even though you have to carry out one exercise in a laboratory, let us find out, let us fill the aquifer, that is the layer of the soil, and need to observe the trail of this resulting trail of this flow net with the help of the colored substance. So small exercise, even though you try to carry it out in your laboratory and observe what would be the nature of this flow nets now. The velocity of the flow is normal to the equipotential line. A flow line cannot intersect with each other. Equipotential line cannot intersect another the equipotential line. All these are the properties of the flow net. You must remember all these properties. As you are knowing the properties of the flow net, then immediately you have to go for the seepage analysis. So for seepage analysis, or before to that, you see the diagram, what would be the nature. So this is the section of the dam. Flow is going to be observed. So along the flow, these are the streamlines, or called the flow lines, and perpendicular to this, these are the representation of the equipotential line. And if you have to insert the piezometer into the soil, then definitely it will be represented as the same head now here. So the same head which will be represented as, and if you join those points, then the resulting line which is now called as the equipotential line for this flow pattern. So the flow net, this is happened for the homogeneous embankment with the drainage blanket on impermeable foundations. This is the layer of the horizontal the filter having the finer particles as well as coarser particles. This is the part of the vertical cutoffs. Yesterday we have seen what will be the provision of the vertical cutoffs on the upstream side, so that you can be control the seepage within this foundation of this earthen dam. So the concrete dam with the cutoff wall on permeable foundations. And this is the second, that is you have to observe, this is the grid of 10 inside below inside the dam, that means in the foundation of the earthen dam, you called as a flow net. So you have the grid of flow lines as well as the equipotential lines now here. Then earthen dam with relatively impermeable core on permeable foundations. For impermeable core, you have to be observed all the flow lines are to be located within the section of the dam now here. And also this is the seat piling where the flow pattern can be observed below to that seat pile now. Then coming towards the next part, that is the seepage analysis based on this flow net. How to carry out this seepage analysis you studied in geotechnical engineering subject or in foundation engineering subject. So it's the part of revision, but you must understand, because of that our the next aim is to how to locate the phreatic line within the earthen dam. It is a very important part in case of the earthen dam. Seepage occurs through the body of all the earthen dams and also through their pervious foundations, if the foundation is pervious. So the amount of seepage has to be controlled in all the conservation dam, and the effects of the seepage has to be controlled for all the dams in order to avoid the failure. What type of the failure is there? That is a seepage failure. So for controlling the seepage in embankment, in foundation, there is a need to go for the seepage analysis. So the seepage through the pervious soil material for the two-dimensional flow is given by this Laplace equation. As you know, when the d2 phi by dx square plus d2 phi by dy square is a 0, if the Laplace equation is satisfied, then there will be the flow. Otherwise, there is no flow. If it is not equal to the 0, then the flow should not be takes place. Where the phi is the this kh velocity potential, how it is determined. K is the permeability of the soils, of course, that is depends upon the material which is utilized for this earthen dam. H is the head causing the flow. So the above equation is based, that is the phi is equal to kh. This equation is based on the following assumptions: where the water is incompressible in nature, soil is incompressible and porous, size of the pore space do not change with respect to the time regardless of the water pressure, and the quantity of water entering the soil in any given time is the same as the quantity flowing out of the soil. That means the continuity equation must be satisfied. It indicates that the inflow is equal to outflow, and the Darcy's law must be valid for the given soil. This is very important. Darcy's law, which can be represented as the small q is equal to KIA. So the hydraulic boundary conditions at the entry and at the exit are known now here. So the seepage analysis, see here. Suppose for example we are considering the dam section of this earthen dam. This is the top width of the dam. This is the base width of the dam. Slope, upstream slope as the 1:2.5. This is the head of the water which is now at the reservoir side or the dam side. And what would be the nature of this flow line, seepage line? So this is the grid of 10 and you call as the flow net now here. And you carried out the seepage analysis for this. There is the provision of this filter on the downstream side. Now seepage discharge through this isotropic soil means it has the same properties. Amount of the seepage can be easily computed for the flow net. That means the flow immediately you can be calculate, and assume that the soil is isotropic and permeability remains the constant in all the directions. Therefore, in horizontal direction and the vertical direction, permeability is the same. Therefore, KH is equal to KB, and flow net is drawn by the freehand sketch with the smooth curve by making the suitable adjustments and the corrections until what type of the adjustments you carried here, whereas that the flow lines must be perpendicular to the equipotential lines. Then seepage rate, that is a quantity of the flow, can be computed from this flow net according to this Darcy's law. applying the principle of the continuity equations between each pair of the flow lines, and evidently that is the velocity must vary inversely with the spacing. Therefore, q is equal to kia, and this q parameter is nothing but a k h by h into nf into the nd. So the n suffix f indicates the number of the flow channels, and nd indicates the total number of the drops in the complete flow net. Now, seepage discharge for the non-isotropic soil, what would be the nature in case of the non-isotropic soil? If the permeability of the soil is different in the horizontal direction than that in the vertical direction, then discharge can be computed by using this equation. This is the equation, and applied for this non-isotropic soil knowledge. So it's a very important part, and today's our focus is toward the phreatic line. That is how to be located. Line of the seepage, phreatic, it has a certain corrections. PHREATIC, phreatic line in earthen dams. So the line, so this is the correct word, PHREATIC, phreatic line. So the line of the seepage or the phreatic line of saturated line is defined as, what is phreatic line? It is a line within the dam section below which there are the positive hydrostatic pressures. If you have drawn the phreatic line, then the portion of the earthen dam lies below the phreatic line must be saturated. Portion lies above this phreatic line must be unsaturated. So the phreatic line which separates the zone of saturated zone, soil and unsaturated soil. So particularly we call saturated zone and unsaturated zone. So along the phreatic line is the positive atmospheric pressure, below to that line is the positive hydrostatic pressure, above to that line is the negative hydrostatic pressure. So the hydrostatic pressure on the phreatic line is equal to the atmospheric pressure, or you have to consider as a zero, and above the phreatic line there is a zone of the capillary saturation called the capillary fringe, in which the hydrostatic pressure are negative. Please remember, pressure above the phreatic line is negative pressure, hydrostatic pressure. Pressure below the phreatic line is the positive hydrostatic pressure, and pressure is on the phreatic line is the atmospheric pressure. So the appreciable flow through the dam body below the phreatic line reduces the effective weight of the soils. You know, once it is submerged, so the effective weight of this dam must be get it reduced now here. So thus reducing the shear strength of the soil due to this poor water pressure. So see the nature diagram, line of the seepage. See, this is the line of the seepage called the phreatic line, which will goes on the downstream side, but it should not be goes away from the structure. That is the precautions, otherwise the failure may be occurred, and you try to bring those phreatic line within the body of the dam. So that's why there is need to provide the filters. That particularly we are providing the rock filter or called the toe filter. Now, it is therefore absolutely essential to determine the position of the phreatic line. How to draw the phreatic line? As in the, actually you have to draw this phreatic line according to the Cassegrain's equations as you studied in the geotechnical engineering. As in position will enable us to determine the following things. It gives us a divide line between the dry and the submerged soil. Of course, soil above the seepage line will be taken as considered as a dry, and soil lies below the seepage line or phreatic line shall be taken as submerged soil for computation of the shear strength of the soil. Then it represents the top stream line and hence help is in drawing the flow net. The seepage line determination help us to ensure that it does not cut the downstream face of the dam, and this is extremely necessary for preventing the softening as well as slugging of the dam now. So phreatic line for a zone section, there are the two categories dam. As per your the previous syllabus, there was the only the homogeneous type of the embankment, and we have to go for the stability analysis with the homogeneous type of the embankment. But because of that, the today's scenario, there is need to go with the zone type of the embankment, and recently we have to construct the dam under this category, that is the zone type of the embankment. Henceforth, you must be know how to locate the phreatic line and how to enhance the stability of the earthen dam for the zonal section, and particularly design assignment is on the zonal type of the embankment. So in case of the zone section, having a central impervious core and the outermost layer you have to be called as the casing. So the effect of this outer zone can be neglected altogether. The focus of this base parabola, because of that, while locating the phreatic line inside the dam, which will be represented as a parabola, will therefore be located at the downstream toe of the core. Now again there are the two sub cases. If the filter is there, then what would be the location of this phreatic line? How to draw the phreatic line? If the filter is not there, then how to locate the phreatic line? So the phreatic line can then be drawn as usual with freehand correction required at the suitable places. So see, this is a diagram, is a blur diagram, but you couldn't understand. Okay, we'll go dam with a filter. Let us see. That is, I want to tell you the first of all show you the diagram. So all of you draw, if it is possible, this diagram. This is the diagram determination of the phreatic line. Or I will go with the other exercise so that you can be understand it, and immediately note down this, that is the how to draw the phreatic line. I will go with this another part. Okay, so this is the diagram, actually we have seen it, and how to draw the phreatic line. This is the small exercise you carried out. Determination, that is a phreatic line, how to locate the phreatic line. Phreatic line, it has been noticed from the experiment, that is according to this Dupit's theory. You apply the Dupit's theory. I want to share this screen. So phreatic line, already you are knowing, which separates the saturated zone from the unsaturated zone, and below which the positive hydraulic static pressure is existed. Along the phreatic line, as you know, the atmospheric pressure is existed. Then flow of the water below the phreatic line reduces the effective weight. Now here, now our question is there, that is how to locate the phreatic line. So it has been noticed from the experiment that the line of the seepage assumes more or the less of the parabola. Hydraulic gradient I is equal to the slope of the free surface and is constant with the depth according to Dupit's theories, and resulting solution of the phreatic surface is a parabola, and it is required particularly at the surface of the entry and discharge of the line of the seepage, the properties of the regular parabola which are essential to obtain the phreatic line. See here, according to the principle of this phreatic line, see, this is the nature of the phreatic line, and what is the principle you applied over there. So the focus where you have to place the center at any point on this parabola, you assume this phreatic line as a parabola, then any point is located on this phreatic line should be lies at the same distance from this focus and from the directrix. Then let us see how to construct a directrix. So every point in the parabola is equidistant from this focus is the F point, and from the directrix is the vertical line which is going to be located now here. So the F to the A must be equal to the G to the E now here, G to the E now here. So the F to the G and G to the E is having a equidistance, and F point is located here, that is the point A is located at equidistance from the focus and from the directrix. So it indicates that the distance of A to the B is equal to A to the F now here. So the FG, therefore this phreatic line is located at a point of the G which intersects this filter, and the distance from this focus to the G to the E point, where is the location, directrix is intersecting at this location in this horizontal direction. Therefore, FG is equal to GE, and this P is nothing but the S by 2. So the distance from the focus to the directrix, this is now within the section of the dam, particularly in the embankment, and the distance from the focus to the location of the directrix is called as the S now here. And focus point have the coordinates of 0, 0. Suppose I want to consider the point, any point on this directrix at a location of X and the Y, then what would be the nature, how to find out. Suppose the point A is on the parabola having a distance of X and the Z. So X is the horizontal distance and Z is the vertical distance. So the point A is located and having a coordinates of X and the Z. Therefore, this equation shall be represents x square plus y square is equal to 2p. 2p means this is a p, f to the g is a p, g to the e is a p. So p plus p, that is a 2p plus x bracket square, and x is equal to z square minus 4p square by 4p. So this equation, this diagram has been taken it from the BC Punniya book. Then very important part, that is how to determine the phreatic line. So drawing the flow net for the earthen dam section, it is necessary to plot the phreatic line more accurately. Then construction procedure or construction steps, how to draw the phreatic line. Following methods are utilized. Casagrande's graphical method is utilized. Analytical method also can be utilized for locating the phreatic line with and without the horizontal filter. So we are considering these two conditions, cases, with and without horizontal drainage filter. Analytical method for the phreatic line for embankment also can be utilized. So let us see the graphical method, that is with filter. Casagrande assumed that the phreatic line is a base parabola. See, this is the section of the dam, and the point B to the point G is the location of the phreatic line, which represents the parabola. But this phreatic line is corrected with the point of the C, and you have to consider the point C, and with smooth curve, smooth line, you have to draw this line and correct this line now. So let us see how to draw it. So base parabola having the focus is at the point F now here, and which is the starting point of the filter. F is the point of filter. If there is no filter, then F point should not be located within the body of the dam. It should be goes away from the section of the dam. And in this case, for this F without filter, you need to consider exactly at the two parts here. So to determine the phreatic line, following procedure practiced, and let us see the AB distance. You know the distance AB is its horizontal projection, which will be represented as the L now here. So the horizontal projection, this is the top height of this, that is the head of the water, which is located at the point B, which represents as the H. Then this H, if this is the inclined line AB, is a sloping portion, its horizontal projection is represented as a L. Therefore, you have to draw this. First step is there. AB is the upstream face. Let its horizontal projection be L. On the water surface, measure a distance BC. So as usual, for correcting this phreatic line, you take a distance of 0.3 times of the L. L is nothing but the distance from this you marked as the E point, or this you mark as any point N, and from this N to the B, it should be located as the L, or this distance is equal to the L, and you mark a point C having a distance of 0.3 L from this upstream face. Now measure the BC, then point C is the starting point of the base parabola. Then to locate the directrix of the parabola, it's very important how to locate the directrix of the parabola. So use the principle. What type of the principle you applied here? Any point is located on the parabola is equidistant from the focus as well as from the directrix. Hence, with the point C as the center, as the point C as the center, C is the point of center, then you take the F is the point, is the focus. So take this distance from the C to the F as a radii, and you draw a curve which will be intersect this horizontal line, which is extended from the portion of the C to the B to the D, and it intersects at a point of the D. And you drop a perpendiculars over this filter, so the D to the H it will be intersects at a point of the edge. So this is now the exact location of the directories. Then what it indicates that next step we'll see. Hence, with the point C as the center CF, already I told you, draw the arc to cut the horizontal line through the CB in a point D. Draw a vertical tangent to the curve FD at a D, and evidently CD is equal to CF. Evidently, C to the D is equal to C to the F, because you have taken the radius from the point C to the F, means the point is located, directly should be located at the same distance. CD is equal to the CF now here. Then vertical line, so which will be represented as the directory. So this is the exact procedure of the directories. So the last point G on the parabola will lies the midway between the F and H. F is the starting point of the filter, H is the directories is intersecting here, and midpoint that is now located G, where the your phreatic line is ended with this filter at the point of the G now here. Then last point G on the parabola will be the midway between F and H. Then to locate the intermediate points on the parabola, we'll see one example, that is distance from the focus. What is the principle you applied here? That means the any point located on the phreatic line should be occupies the same distance from the focus and the directories, and the distance from the directories and the focus point must be equal. So for example, to locate any point P, draw the vertical line QP at any distance x. So suppose for example, you have to locate the point P here, having the vertical distance as a y and the horizontal distance as a x now here from this focus point. Then as usual, we'll go for the procedure. So how to proceed further part? So let us see the further part. So in order to find out these equations and the QP, to locate the intermediate points, you have to consider the point P. Then the vertical line drawn this QP at any point distance x from the F. Measure the QH, measure the QH, measure the QH. Again, I am showing this diagram. Measure the QH, take this distance QH, then as a center P, that is the intermediate point, you are finding the coordinates. So consider as a center P and draw a curve through the point F. So the H, so therefore, so the focus point, see here the what is the procedure you carried over there. So the vertical line QP at any point x from the F, measure the QH with F as the center and QH as the radius, draw an arc to cut the vertical line through the Q in point P. So see here, so the point P, if you have to draw the curve line through the point P, F and P to the F distance, you are considering this radius, and if you draw this line, vertical line is going to be cut at this point of the P, and draw the perpendicular drop, so will represent as the x distance as well as the y distance now here. So this is the way to find out the intermediate points. So the procedure you have to carry it out, and you find out the different points on this phreatic line, so that you will be draw a smooth curve, and that will be represented as the location of the phreatic line. So the simple procedure you carried over there, and you understand. I am telling you one example how to locate the point P. Same point you can be located along this phreatic line or this on the section of the dam. You will be getting the point, and through that point you draw a smooth curve which will be represented as the location of the phreatic line. So join all these points to get the base parabola. Some correction is to be made at the entry sections. You must be know it. You have taken the distance of 0.3 times of the L. Phreatic line must start from the point B and not from the C. Hence the portion of the phreatic line at B is sketched freehand in a such way that it starts perpendicular to the AB. So here this line must be the perpendicular to this portion, and you have to correct those phreatic line with this dotted line, and this is now the resulting phreatic line. And you carried out the same exercise in your the practical. So AB to meet the rest of the parabola tangentially without any kink, and the base parabola should also meet the downstream filter perpendicular at the G. So in order to find out the equation for the point P having the coordinates x and the y, so PF is equal to QH. Of course, PF is equal to QH is nothing but, you see, P to the F, that is a focus. Any point located on the phreatic line should be at the equidistance from the focus and the directories. So the P to the F is equal to, I am directly telling you, PF is equal to Q to the H, square root of x square plus y square. QH is nothing but QF plus QH. QH is nothing but QF plus QH. that is now x plus s now here. S is the distance of the directories from the focus point, and you will be getting the equation x plus s, s is equal to fs, that is the focal distance. Simplified this, x square plus y square, x is equal to y square minus s square by 2s. Then this parabola equation represents y square is equal to 2xs plus s square. This is the equation for the parabola. You can be find out the s focal distance, that is the s is equal to x square plus y square minus x. If at point C, x is equal to d and y is equal to h, that is the upstream point C. This is the point located over there, and this point C indicates this is the d distance, and the h horizontal distance is d from the focus point, and vertical distance is h. So then how to locate this point? So you have to look out these equations, and s is equal to d square plus h square minus d, and discharge through the body of the dam. If q is the discharge per unit length, apply the Darcy's law. Q is equal to KIA, k into dy by dx into the area by considering the small elementary strip y into 1. Then y is equal to 2xs plus s square raised to half. Then y can be find out with the help of this equation. As you know the x, then find out the y and locate the phreatic line. This is analytical procedure. Dy by dx is equal to s by 2xs plus s square. Substituting this, and you will be getting the discharge. What would be the discharge inside the dam? That is going to be find out with the help of this equation, and finally you got this equation q is equal to KS. So this is the way to represent as the location of the phreatic line, and I think you can understand these concepts how to draw the phreatic line in case of the zoned type of the embankment. So my part is over.